Now in this section, we'll set up our React's Redux container. We will cover hooking up a React component to Redux with the map state to props and map dispatch to props functions. We will also cover action creators. And you'll notice I repeat myself a little in this section, and this is because it will help in the continuity of the explanation, and it will make the explanation self-contained. So if it seems like I'm repeating myself, just bear with me. In React, components that are aware of the app state are referred to as containers. This is also true of React Redux. Only class-based React components will be aware of the Redux state. Functional components will not. In this section, we'll set up a simple container to test our Redux state. We can use the same container that we use for a React project, but let's start fresh and delete all the code in our container except for an empty div. At the top of our container file, we'll import our dependencies and both the actions and action types from our actions directory. Next, we can set up 3 buttons to see if our Redux store is working. Each button will describe its intended function and purpose, and each button will test a different part of our Redux store to make sure it's working properly. At the bottom of our container file, we'll set up 2 functions, map state to props and map dispatch to props. The map state to props takes the state parameter, and map dispatch to props takes the dispatch parameter. And they're both reserved keywords, and we have to use both of them in their functions. And they can't be interchanged or substituted for other keywords. And both these function names are describing exactly what these functions do. And they're very important because they're basically what allows us to use the Redux state with React. And since we're using Redux and the React Redux library to manage state, we're no longer using the React set state function. In complex apps, you'd use both these functions and set state, but for now we'll just focus on the React Redux functions. Now we need a way to connect these 2 functions with React. We can do this with the connect function from React Redux. We can first import it at the top and then call it at the bottom of our file. And notice that our 2 state functions and the container are wrapped in different parentheses. This may look strange if you haven't seen it before, but this is correct syntax. And now let's leave our app for a little bit and go a little bit deeper in these 2 functions.